Right now, you're looking at the most visited site in Edinburgh, which is a street. It's the Royal Mile. It runs from Edinburgh Castle, which is just up the road this way. You can't quite make it out from here, so I'll try to get in the distance. There's the tower and the flag pole of it over there, and it runs all the way down to the Scottish Parliament and Holyrood House down at the other end of Canongate. It changes names a few times, and down there, if you can see a tiny bit of blue above that man's head, that is the Firth of Forth. That's the actual sea, and right around there is the port that serves Edinburgh, called Leith. So as you can see, this is just an average Sunday afternoon. Tons of tourists, tons of Scotlanders, tons of Edinburghians, I think they're called, just out enjoying the day, and it's a beautiful day. I'm taking advantage of the exceptionally gorgeous fall weather today to enjoy this, and chances are if you come to Edinburgh, you'll spend more than your fair share of time trekking up and down here, looking at knickknacks, stopping in at all the tourist sites and museums, and maybe buying a cashmere sweater or a kilt if you're feeling a little bit daring. Here I am at another of Edinburgh's famous sites, the Georgian House. It's at a place called 7 Charlotte Square, which is at the end of George Street, which is one of the world's finest examples of Georgian architecture. As you can see, it's a gorgeous park, huge square surrounded by some just beautiful architecture. And the reason I'm here is because rather than going to some of the other major sites like the castle or Holyrood House Palace, I thought it'd be interesting to see how people actually lived way back when the city was more than just a UNESCO World Heritage Site, capital of Scotland, that sort of thing. I want to know what daily life was actually like. So this is a restored house of a well-to-do family about the end of the 18th century, so the 1700s into early 1800s. It's got a ton of rooms. You get to see how the family, the well-to-do family who lived here, would have passed their days, as well as the servants who lived below stairs. And it's a great final stop in a day of tours like that that also include the real Mary King's Close, which is an illustration of about 15th, 16th century life in the streets below the main thoroughfares of Edinburgh. And then also the second house I would suggest going to is called the Gladstone Lands, which illustrates life in the 16 and 1700s, which I was at a little earlier today. But this is a great final stop for my day, and I can't wait to go inside and see what there is to see, and then prepare for another great evening out in Edinburgh. So right now I'm outside what I think is probably one of the most fun of Edinburgh's attractions. It's right across the street here at the very top of the Royal Mile, just outside the gates of the castle, and it is the Scotch Whisky Experience. I'm standing here just a little ways off the road because it's full of tour groups right now. But the Scotch Whisky Experience is basically 1 part Scotch Museum, 2 parts tasting bar, and another 1 part just fun tourist attraction where you can go have a dram of Scotch, or as many as you like in one of the tasting bars. There's a little ride that's sort of like Pirates of the Caribbean almost, where you sit in a cart that's shaped like a Scotch barrel or cask or a butt, as they're called here, and learn about the process and the history of Scotch making and exactly how it's made here and what sets it apart, as well as some of the regions it comes from. There's also some videos that show you different facts and pictures of the various regions, and you get to taste and you get to find out all about the different flavor profiles as well, including with the use of a special scratch and sniff flavor profile wheel, which was just hilarious. Let me see if I still have mine in my bag here. So I started out my morning. Here's the scratch and sniff wheel right there. As you can see, they do it by region, so there's Speyside, Highland, Lowland, and Isla. And basically, I started out my morning here, which was a bit of a stiff start to the morning, although, as you can see, it's this gloomy, typical Edinburgh weather, so it was kind of not the worst thing in the world to have a dram of Scotch to warm me up, but I might suggest doing it a little later in the afternoon, and if it sounded hokey from my description, it's not at all. It's a little bit, but it's not really at all, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very educational, which is a good way of saying you get to drink and learn something at the same time. So I'd highly suggest it to anyone, and if you don't have time for the full tour, which takes about an hour, you can always just stop by the tasting room and get a taste of any of them that you like. They're happy to make recommendations as well, and you can do a tour from the castle on the way to the other tourist activities of the day.